Hi, everybody. It's Kelly with Real Conversations with Kelly and Heather. And last week we talked about the quiet signs that you're becoming a new version of yourself. And one of the biggest things people start noticing is that some of their relationships feel different. But today we want to shift the focus a little bit because this isn't just about what's changing, it's about what's opening up.
That's exciting.
Oh, I love it. There are new people, new relationships, new connections that come into your life when you start growing. So, last week we talked about as you grow your environment, it starts to shift, and that includes relationships. And sometimes that space that gets created feels uncomfortable, but it's actually making room. If someone stays in the same environment, they usually stay around the same people. Okay. Your environment is one of the fastest ways to change your life because it changes who you're around.
I really love that because if you really think about it,
Mhm.
where we live, where we shop,
Mm.
where we go out to dinner, where we go to church, pretty much
Right.
where we do everything is
Hmm.
always based in our environment. So this is a really great opportunity then to really look at it and really make some changes and really stop and think about, do I want to stay where I'm at? Or do I want to continue to do something different? And we did this as a recap. We talked about that a lot last week of how things are starting to
Hmm.
change and how uncomfortable they can be at first, but things are going to be really great in the end. So, this is really why we're going to go in a little bit deeper. And yes, we're going to talk about a lot more about relationships because it's one of the should I say it's one of the biggest things that change in our lives outside of just picking up and moving to a different city, which is another environmental shift and change. Relationships are going to change and it's going to be amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to
Yes.
talk about today. Not the loss of them, but the opportunities for the change of them.
Right. Right. And how new friendships are formed. I
Right.
mean, it's one of the biggest things people don't realize is that friendships are built around what we do consistently
Yes.
all the time. Like, where do you spend your time determines who you meet.
Right.
Like when you were growing up, your friends were usually the kids in the same neighborhood or at the same school. And as we got older, our friendships became our coworkers or other groups that we hung out with. Maybe we volunteered somewhere. So let me see, my group of friends. I've got I've got some new group of friends. I have a women's group that I'm part of. And I've met probably five or six new ladies. And so that's been really nice. And we do have things in common. And also going to Network Spinal. Wow, that has been huge for me. Network Spinal has introduced me to family constellation, and I see the same people all the time. And we talk about things that happen at family constellation or happen when we do network spinal. So those have been my two big things. Have you had anything, Heather? Have you had any groups that have changed or any new friendships?
I have been on maybe sitting on the outskirts of different groups and I'm looking in. So I have been with my day job, we do a lot of stuff with pickleball. And so I have watched from these different locations the people who congregate. And that's where they congregate, and that's where their friendships are forming. And they are all about it. And are you going to this location or this competition, and are you going here, are you going there? It's like they're doing it all together. And the other thing that I was noticing the other night is because you allowed me to come to a family constellation. I shouldn't say allowed. You invited me to come to a family constellation. And that was my biggest thing that I thought about is here's a group of people that are getting together almost weekly. I don't know if it's every Friday or what, I can't recall. They're coming
Once a
together
month.
often. Oh, once a month.
Once a month.
You're starting to see the same people over and over and over. And I just sat there back and I just watched you. And you were going to this person and that person and you guys were hugging and so excited to be there. And it was just really interesting because it's definitely a different environment and it's definitely a new person that you are becoming and you're speaking their same language. And I don't speak that language as of yet. And so looking back, looking as an outsider in, it's very interesting. But I will say these type of groups, you're not playing pickleball yet, but the network spinal stuff and the family constellation is you're vibing with them and you're glowing
Mm-hmm.
around them. And that
Mm-hmm.
person you're liking. So that just proves the things that you continue to do constantly are the environments and the people that draw to you within that.
Right, right. So it's not about finding new people. It's not about searching for new
Yeah,
people. You find them by becoming.
right.
Mm,
That's huge. Becoming whatever it
yes.
is, becoming a pickleball
Yes.
player, becoming a personal development guru, or becoming a network spinal enthusiast, whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is,
Right.
becoming that person.
Right. Right. So let's talk a little more about becoming.
Yeah,
So if someone wants a new relationship, but they're staying in the same environment, it's going to be really hard because new environments introduce you to new people who are aligned with where you're going, not where you've been.
that's so key. They've got to be aligned with you.
Okay, so now examples. I quit drinking. I keep talking about this, but I quit drinking. So I'm having coffee instead of happy hour. So I don't see people at happy hour. I see people at a coffee shop. And that makes a big difference, huge difference. And my
Totally different environment.
conversations are different,
Yep, totally different environment.
very, very different. And okay, so I used to go to HIIT training, which is interval training, where you get your heart rate fast and then you slow it down, and then you get your heart rate fast and you slow it down. That's HIIT training. But then I started going to yoga, totally different. And I have my yoga peeps and I love it. But I had my people in HIIT training that I love too. And but then I shifted and I became a yogi. But it was nice. It was really, really nice. And now I go and I can, on my off days, I walk it. Well, when I do work out, which I did in this morning, um, I enjoyed my sleep too much. But it's just different. It's a different, it's just different people. People that
Like,
do yoga are different from people that do HIIT training.
yeah, can I
And
interject here for a second?
sure.
I was thinking of an example because when you talked about quitting drinking, and we know that your buddy system has changed within that too. I I don't think there is a story of change or a story where people have come back to themselves or made these drastic changes without something like this happening, right? I listened to this podcast where a lot of people have, let's say, lost or had stepped away from their faith and then they found their way back. And it's really interesting to me that every single one, and we hear these stories all the time, not just of faith, but all the time of when people fall away from something, it's always, they always say, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Mm,
Every single one of them. And
yes.
and I don't care what
Yes.
it is, whether that crowd, then you start to drink and it gets worse and worse, or it's a new crowd of doing things one way when you always were brought up doing another way. It's always a crowd that's going to once again influence your behaviors, which influences your results. And so when you said that, that always makes me think about those things, because in order for those people to have found their way back from something,
Mm-hmm.
they had to give up their environments with the wrong crowd. And you are absolutely correct. When you're having coffee instead of happy hour at a place, because at a coffee shop, it is a different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's more relaxed. It's more, at least in my opinion, there's more conversations that are really happening. It's just so different. So it can just be such an amazing thing. Anyways, I was thinking about that because there's really no story of massive change unless a massive change has happened in here, becoming somebody
Mm-hmm.
different, and then choosing the right crowd for what you say
Yes.
that you want.
Yes. And it's not about discarding any of your other friendships. I mean, it
They
is
can
about
change. They can change.
they can change. Mm-hmm. They can change. It's like we've talked before about staying in your lifeboat.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of where we are right now. It's like doing the things that keep you moving towards what you want. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And if what you want matters to you, right there, you've got to make sure that the people in your lifeboat, they are taking action just like you are.
Right. Or at least supporting you,
Yes.
aligning with you.
Yes. Because the people around you either reinforce your future or they pull you back into your past.
Ugh, so easy.
No, no, thank
Yes.
you. No rear view mirror.
Right. It's so easy to fall back into what is the familiar, right? It's so easy to do that.
Yes, yes. So let's not discount old friendships that are also in alignment with your new identity.
Yeah.
Because there are some that are going to come along with you, and then there are some that are not going to come along with you. And you make that decision.
That's right.
You make that decision. So your environment is one of the fastest ways to change your life because it changes who you're around. And if you've been feeling this shift in your relationships, maybe instead of asking, who am I losing? You start asking, who am I about to meet? Yes. Because the people who align with you, they're going where you're going and are often waiting in the environment you haven't stepped into yet. Gosh,
So great.
love it. And we'd love to hear from you. What's something new you've started doing recently that's introduced you to different people? Like, tell us that. Or where you have met someone who's really aligned with the direction your life is going. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
You know, we'd also love to is if you have a great story of change, like something you have
Mm,
really done differently and have gotten a different result, and you feel so proud of that, we'd love to hear that too, because we'd also be happy to have you on as a guest on our podcast. Because if we're interested in it, I guarantee you there's other people that are out there, other women who are looking to hear of positive things just to know that somebody else has done it. Because if you can do it, I can do it, they can do it, we all can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that that is a challenge that you need to take today.
Do it, do it.
Yes. So thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you, and we will see you next week.